Hi, everyone. My name is John Neral. I'm an executive and career transition coach, and I help professionals who are ambitious about their careers show up to make the impact they want. I'm so happy to spend a few minutes with you today and just share with you some tips and strategies that will hopefully help set you up for more success as you venture into whatever job is first or next for you as you graduate and move on. So I just want to acknowledge you're in a great time in your life. There are so many opportunities that are available to you. And I just want to let you know that how you show up to do it matters. One of the biggest things that I talk about with my clients, whether they're leading teams or organizations, or they're in a state in their career where they're looking for something different, is that we need to focus on two things. The first is what's the work you do? And secondly, it's who you are as a professional. Get really good at the work that you're doing or you want to do. Learn as much as you can, but also think about who you are as a professional, how you show up to work every day, and how you show up when you leave work every day. Showing up is all about the energy that you have that you bring into a workplace. I'm willing to bet that throughout your school, there are teachers whom you really resonate with and love being in their classroom, and there are others, not so much. I spent 25 years in education, both as a classroom teacher and as an administrator. And I too, throughout my life, had those teachers that were absolutely my favorites and those that I couldn't wait to get out of their classroom. It's about their energy, it's about how we connect with them. Think about the things that those teachers whom you really resonate with, what is it about her or him that you just absolutely love about being in their classroom? Maybe it's how well they communicate. Maybe it's about how they are very transparent about things or how they're approachable. Those things are important. And think about how you want to emulate those in the workplace. But I also want to share some other tips and strategies with you. The first thing is you need a really good resume. That resume needs to tell your story about what you do really well and what kind of accomplishments or achievements you've received in those jobs. Right now, it is all about the work that you're doing, but think about all of the work that you're doing. If you're doing some volunteer work, that needs to be on the resume. Think about why you are doing that work and make sure that the top third of your resume has some kind of statement or profile about who you are and what you do. It's a little paragraph or story that tells a lot about you in just a few sentences. On average, hiring managers and companies will take about 7 seconds to read someone's resume before they make a decision about whether or not they want to continue reading. That's why your resume is so important. The other tip I have for you is learn to use LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, you need to be. And feel free to send me a connection request on LinkedIn as well if you'd like. But make sure, whether it be with me or with anybody, that you always include a little note as to why you want to connect with them. Right now, because of COVID-19, we don't have a lot of opportunities to network in person. And so it's more important than ever that you and everybody else out there that's looking to connect on LinkedIn learn to use it effectively to network virtually. And that begins by simply sending that little message. It doesn't have to be anything more than, hi, I found your profile and I'm interested in learning more about whatever profession they're in. I'd like to connect and learn more. Sincerely, and then sign your name. Those little things go a long way as opposed to just randomly clicking the connect button to build your connections. You're building a professional network that says a lot about you and who's connected with you. Take the time to build your network accordingly. It's much different than the number of followers you have on Instagram. So keep that in mind too. The other thing is that when it comes time for you to interview, and this is really important, COVID-19 has changed the way we are interviewing, and every single company has been forced to leverage virtual interviewing more than ever. So if there's a few tips I could give for you right now about virtually interviewing, it's these. Make sure that when you go to interview, you let everybody know in your house as much as possible that they need to be quiet to eliminate distractions. Yes, companies are more knowledgeable about the distractions will happen, but the more you can minimize distractions, the more you can focus on the interview. Have some good lighting if possible. Make sure you're in a room that has a nice backdrop. I happen to be talking to you tonight from my home office, and this is what I have behind me all the time. It says a few little things about who I am and what I do. Doesn't have to be anything fancy or elaborate, but it needs to be neat. And the other thing is that when you're interviewing, make sure that your eyes appear in the top third of the screen. Nobody wants to talk to just a head, okay? So make sure that you're framed accordingly, be dressed professionally and appropriately, and make sure that you've got a good camera and some good sound, either coming from a microphone that's on your computer or maybe a set of earphones or earbuds that you have. Keep those things in mind because that's a big part of the impression you get to make. But lastly, what I want to share with you in terms of your career readiness as you look for whatever is next, be it now or after graduation, or if you decide to go to college and what applying for jobs is going to look like while you're there as well, we need to be focusing on who you are as a professional, and that is all about how you show up. Remember when I talked about at the beginning, it is about the energy that you present, that you resonate with. Think about who you are as a professional. And if there's one strategy I could give you with that, it is this. Be open and welcome to all of the new opportunities that are in front of you. When you get a job, learn as much about that job as you can. Be like a sponge, soak up as much information as possible, learn the ins and outs, and learn to do that job better than anyone. And when you do, when you get really, really good at it, you'll be ready for whatever is next. And those opportunities start opening up for you more and more simply because of how you show up, knowing the work that you do, and doing it really, really well. Nobody wants to hire somebody who isn't good or doesn't have the potential to do a really good job. That's where you get to demonstrate that. So even if it's a job you're not really crazy about, and trust me, I've had a few of them in my career, you still get to learn some things from them and they set you up for success down the road as well. So couple last things here. If you want to learn a little bit more about me and what I do and check out some free resources that are on my website that include some blogs and videos about more interviewing strategies, about your resume, cover letter, and how to leverage LinkedIn, go to my website there at johnneral.com. You can also connect with me on all the social media channels. You can follow me on Instagram at John Neral Coaching. I am on LinkedIn and would be happy to connect with you there. You can also email me at john@johnneral.com as well. But if you also want to learn a little more about what it means to show up and why that is so important to me and the work that I do, check out my new book that's available on Amazon called Show Up: 6 Strategies to Lead a More Energetic and Impactful Career. It's a personal story about what showing up has meant for me in my life and how I've taken those lessons about showing up and transferred them over into every job that I've had. So I appreciate the time that we've had to spend today. I wish you the best. I wish you much success. And I look forward to connecting with you, and all the best in terms of how you show up. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Be well, stay safe, and take care. Thank you.